And it is a beautiful day in Pasadena. Right across the street from the historic Rose Bowl sits Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, the site for today's CCL matchup between the San Diego Power and the Arroyo Seco Saints. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Sid Iyer here alongside my color commentator, Sydney.
Happy to be here, Sid.
There we go. And on the call here for some baseball here in the LA sunshine. Happy to have you with us. The Saints coming off 2 wins in a row and 11 runs in yesterday's incomplete game against the Santa Barbara Foresters. And in the last 3 games, the Saints have scored 36 runs, and they're looking to keep it going here at home against the Foresters, who are coming off a couple of pretty solid performances. We'll get you the lineup here for the Bombers shortly. Thomas Williams leading off and playing second base. Lucas Bonham playing third. Dylan Fishbaugh out in center field. They'll be there 1, 2, 3. And on the mound for the Saints will be Cade Schumard, a left-handed thrower. And look, Cade Schumard, solid pitcher out of New Mexico State. Last year for New Mexico State, only threw 7 innings with an ERA that was pretty high, over 18. However, he comes in, a left-handed thrower from Saguaro High School in Scottsdale, Arizona, 6'2", and looking to get his summer season off to a good start here tonight in Pasadena. And that being said, temperature here at first pitch, which is coming up here shortly, is 75 degrees. The Saints, of course, wearing their typical blue tops and white pants. Meanwhile, the Bombers here wearing all blues, looking like Smurfs out there a little bit, as we await first pitch here in Pasadena. First pitch coming in, and it will be a strike, a fastball on the outside corner. Williams at the plate, number 19, a native of Huntington Beach, as quick ball here on the inside part, an off-speed pitch. A native of Huntington Beach, went to Ocean View High School, actually is a switch hitter, currently at Texas Rio Grande Valley, as this ball is hit to center field. And Noah Williams under this one, and a nice catch to start the game on the mound for Schumard.
Saints were last in action yesterday. They got through about 7 innings and 4 hours of play in their suspended game against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Current score of that game is 12-8. The last 2 innings will be played at a later date. Like Sid mentioned, their offense has been really great so far. Previous game won 17-4 against the Philippines baseball group.
And that's Lucas Bonham stepping in, a right-handed hitter for the San Diego Power, as he takes strike 1. Hits this ball down the right field line. Heading down the right field line, and that ball is going to drop, and he's got room to run. Rounds first and is heading for second. Looks like he's going to go for third. And he gets into third base standing. An easy stand-up triple for Lucas Bonham.
Bonham really displaying his speed there, getting himself into scoring position. Now the first run of the game, 90 feet away.
And that brings up Dylan Fishbaugh. Fishbaugh, also a SoCal native from San Diego, from Carlsbad. Went to La Costa Canyon High School, which he was teammates with James Theodore back in high school, a fellow teammate. See, squares to bunt here. Third base and first base here charging, but that ball's foul. Pitch from Schumard from the windup, and a fastball high up at the letters, 1-1 the count. Fishbaugh currently going to be a senior at the Stevens Institute of Technology, Division III school. And a swing and a miss on a challenge fastball by Schumard. That gets us to a 1-2 count pretty quickly. Pitch coming in from Schumard. And a breaking ball on the outside, just missed the black of the plate. That'll even it up at 2-2. And this ball hit high and deep to left center field. Williams is giving a chase, and this one's going to drop in between them as he has the second base and does a shoestring slide. And just like that, the San Diego Bombers on the board with a nice double from Dylan Fishbaugh. It's 1-0 Bombers.
Bombers still have 2 outs to play with in this inning as well.
And a well-hit ball here to left center field, just out of the reach of Lane Hayworth, the left fielder, and the center fielder Noah Williams battling the sun, holding his glove up in center field. And that brings up Jeremy Jones, a left-handed hitter, as this ball is a fastball on the inside, well inside, in fact, for ball 1. Jones, currently attending L.A. Pierce College, had a .378 batting average and 27 stolen bases. And he takes a fastball down at the knees, and that'll be a strike. Evens the count at 1-1.
Exit velocity on that double was 92 miles per hour.
It's pretty good. Schumard in the stretch. Looks back to second, and the pitch. Off-speed pitch. Didn't get the call from the home plate umpire. That was a slider up, and he's talking to himself on the mound as he falls behind here, 2-1. The pitch. Ground ball left side to third base. Trotter Enright with a throw, and this actually gets past the first baseman, Gannon Snyder, and this heads down the line, stays in play. That run all the way in a play at the plate, and he is safe. Good hustle out there by Dylan Fishbaugh, trying to get from second all the way to home on a play, and that throwing error proving costly. An E5 on the play, and an E5 on Gannon Snyder, the third baseman for the Saints.
It's a long throw for Trotter Enright at third base. Looked like he kind of hesitated, then tried to rush it. Just couldn't get it on the target to first baseman Gannon Snyder.
That's Kyle Becker with a single up the middle, first pitch swinging, and he rounds third, and he's heading for home. Jones going in, and he slides, and he is safe. The throw by Noah Williams in center, slightly offline, and continued run production from the Bombers. Here from Kyle Becker, first pitch swinging, and that makes it 3-0.
We saw the Saints fall behind yesterday against the Santa Barbara Foresters. We're once down 8-1. Now currently winning that game 12-8, the suspended game.
And that run production continuing, but certainly pitching woes for the Saints, as that brings up Mowlin, right-handed hitter, as he takes a ball very close, and that'll be ball 1. Runner on first, 1 out, 3-0 ball game here already. Pitch, another fastball on the outside part of the plate. That's ball 2. Mallon, the first baseman for the Bombers tonight.
Mallon also the 6th Bomber to come up in the top of the first. Cade Schumard really working out there.
Yeah, continuing to miss on the outside part of the plate. A quick 3-0 count. Cade Schumard definitely getting a lot of work here in the first inning. Infield in double play depth, and a throw back to first to try and keep Becker. First pitch swinging on that single at first base. Becker on first, played in the Northwoods League last year for the Lakeshore Chinooks. As it quickly, Mallon takes ball 4. And now Becker heads to second base, and yet another runner in scoring position, as now we're going to see a little mound visit here from the Saints catcher. That's Matthew Maynard going out to talk to Schumard, who is definitely struggling so far in this inning.
Yeah, we'll see how long Schumard's leash is tonight. See if he can get out of this top of the first to get the Saints back in the dugout hitting.
And so that brings up James Theodore, also another local San Diego guy from San Marcos, currently at Webster University. Had a great season for them, hit over .340 this past season as he takes a fastball in there for a strike. Theodore playing for the Gorlocks, 5'8", 160. Went to La Costa Canyon High School in San Marcos. And the pitch Curveball doesn't get the call. And that makes it 1-1. Theodore definitely a lot of good speed out there on the base paths as he fouls this fastball back into the parking lot. Number 10 on that jersey. But to complete my point there about his speed, this past season had 38 stolen bases rather. As he swings and this ball is hit down the left field line and this one's going to fall. And they'll play station to station. Bases loaded now for the San Diego Bombers. Really putting that name into context. They have come out swinging.
Bombers have already put up a 3 spot here in the top of the first. Could really break it open. Going to have a mound visit here from the Saints pitching coach, Matt Stone.
And Schumar definitely needing that mound visit. I mean, look. It has been a stressful inning for him. Already the 8th hitter coming up here to face him in the first inning. Matthew Maynard, the catcher, and meanwhile, of course, as you mentioned, the pitching coach for the Saints going out to have a quick mound visit. And with bases loaded here and 1 out, all the more paramount here to try and get an out any way he can. Pretty nice day here in Pasadena as we wait for play to resume as the pitching coach heading back to the dugout rather. 75 degrees at first pitch, and we started just past our scheduled time, right around 6:10. Now last night's game was a long one. In fact, went past 10 o'clock, and the lights here at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field shut down, which means that the game would have to continue at a future date.
That they did with the CCL League not having a pitch clock. These games can take some time, and it did indeed yesterday with that game. It's going to have to be resumed at a later date to play the last 2 innings.
Certainly was a long game as this ball just on the outside part of the plate, 1-1 the count. Parks, 5'10", 205 from Stuart, Florida. Currently in the transfer portal, looking to find a home here this upcoming season. As he takes a strike here, as it'll be 1-2 the count. Now remember, we're already at the 8th hitter in this lineup. Parks, the starting catcher. That just leaves Santiago in the 9 hole. That's Christian Santiago. Significant offensive production here from the Bombers here in the first inning. And the pitch, off-speed pitch, and he got him. Curveball broke right over the middle of the plate, and just like that, he finally gets that second big out of the inning.
Yeah, and that strikeout definitely had to feel nice for Cade Schumard, struggling a little bit this inning. That could hopefully help him get his confidence back and get Santiago right here to get the Saints in the dugout for their first hacks of the day.
That's exactly right, and that brings up the 9-hitter Christian Santiago. Santiago, left-handed hitter, and he takes a strike. Finally back into the zone. Santiago playing shortstop for the Bombers here this evening. Bases loaded here, and 2 outs, and a check swing. Appeal to second base umpire. No, he did not. So that's ball 1. Santiago, a native of Valencia, California, also attends L.A. Pierce College, but he will be entering the transfer portal as this will be a strike back to 1-2. Had a good season at L.A. Pierce. He hit .385 with 40 RBIs and 7 stolen bases.
Definitely be a good pickup for someone as he enters the portal.
Absolutely, as he takes a ball here, evens the count, and 2's all around. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded, outfield playing pretty deep, infield playing standard. In the stretch, Schumard throws and swings and misses, and that'll do it for the inning. And that was a long inning for Cade Schumard. 3 runs on 5 hits, and 3 runners left on base. Top of the first here. We're heading to the bottom of the first. 3-0 Bombers. And back here in the bottom of the first, and the Saints coming up to bat, and they're going to face Riley Plummer. Just completed his freshman year at Doane University, and he's from Grand Island, Nebraska, 6 foot tall. Did not throw an inning this past season as he throws his first pitch, a fastball well outside, gets to the backstop to Eli Lopez, the Saints shortstop. Had a pretty good game last night, couple of good hits in yesterday's incomplete game against the Santa Barbara Foresters.
We've seen a lot of great things from Eli Lopez through the Saints' first 4 or 5 games of the season. Very strong player offensively and defensively out of Cal State Fullerton.
Another ball there for 2-0. And the pitch, swing and a ground ball up the middle. Santiago throws to first, and they're going to say he was off the bag. And a little chopper up the middle that Santiago had to make a quick throw on the run, but Eli Lopez showcasing the speed. That's an infield single.
Yeah, definitely, regardless of being pulled off the bag, tough play with Eli Lopez's speed.
And with that coming up is Trotter Enright. He's the third baseman tonight, a left-handed hitter. Enright, 6'2", 195. Plays for the Long Beach State Dirtbags in the Big West as this ball's popped up, and this one's headed our way. Had a quick pause there because we weren't sure where that ball was going. Couldn't quite see it as it got over us, but that will be strike one.
Enright played in 31 games for the Dirtbags this past year with a .240 average and a .646 OPS with 23 total hits, 17 runs scored, and 8 RBIs.
Pitch in, and that will be a strike on the outside corner. A fastball from Plummer, 0-2. Lopez at first base, good speed. Taking a moderate lead. Being held on at first base by Mowlin as quick pickoff move, and he darted slightly to to second. But back in. We'll get you the defensive arrangement for the Bombers here in just a second. Lead off by Lopez and another throw over to first base. Right side of the infield is Mowlin holding first. Williams at second. Santiago, as we mentioned, at short. And at third base, you've got Bonham. Meanwhile, your outfield is Theodore in left, Fishbaugh in center, and in right field is Jones to round out the defense. Pitch in from Plummer, and this one is high. Pretty significant miss, 1-2. And right, a local guy out of L.A., went to Camarillo High School, but his hometown is Thousand Oaks. Stayed local to play for the Dirtbags. And the pitch, and this one's hit into right field, and that was an easy single. Lopez stops at second. And just like that, another good piece of hitting there from Trotter Enright. So first and second here. Saints trying to capitalize on a pretty productive first two at-bats from the top of their lineup, and that brings up Joey Milto. Native of Greenwood, Indiana, goes to Bellarmine U. That's in the Atlantic Sun Conference. This past season, he was recognized on the academic All-ASUN team, and at the conclusion of the season was tied for 8th in the conference in walks. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Joey Milto's another Saint we've seen very strong offensive performances from so far. Had the 6 RBIs against the Philippines a few days back.
Definitely has started the summer season well.
He's here representing the tying run at the plate.
Pitch from Plummer, and this ball's hit down the left field line. Heading down there, and he is able to make the catch. That's Theodore in left field. And that's a good first out. Some weak contact there induced on Joey Milto. So that brings up Gannon Snyder. Snyder, the cleanup hitter tonight, and playing first base. Definitely not a local guy, from St. Louis. 6'2", 215. Currently attending Wichita State. So on the Shockers, he's also teammates with Lane Hayworth in the lineup tonight. He steps in with a runner on second base. And the pitch. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Plummer starting to use that off-speed early in the count.
Snyder played in 39 games for the Shockers this year with a .252 average, 28 total hits, 16 runs scored with 11 RBIs. Is 3 for 9 in the CCL League so far.
Off-speed pitch down at the knees. No bite from Snyder. 2-0. Snyder, in his freshman year at Wichita State, played in 25 games and made 10 starts and hit .343. And he gets maybe a generous outside strike call there. Riley Plummer on the mound, definitely liking that. That .343 mark he had his freshman year would have led the team had he had enough at-bats to qualify. 1-2 the count here to Snyder. Man on first and second. 2 outs, 1 out, and the runner on the move, and he gets into third base. That's Enright with the steal. Nice little show of base running there, and just like that, now first and third with 1 out.
Bombers are looking for a potential ground ball for a double play here to get out of the inning. Fly ball deep enough, Saints could score their first run of the game.
And a pop-up is what they will get. Plummer inducing it to the left side, and he's able to make the catch. Great play by Bonham. Down by the Saints dugout, had to look for the railing and made an excellent catch there for out number 2. So 2 outs in the inning now, and that brings up Jacob Freer, the DH here for the Saints tonight. Yet another lefty batter to face the right-handed Plummer. And he'd love to drive in a run here and get the Saints on the board. Pitch from Plummer. Fastball on the outside for a ball, 1-0.
Freer had a nice year for the Azusa Pacific. For Azusa Pacific University, played in 48 games with a .272 average, 41 total hits, 2 of those home runs with 13 RBIs and 25 runs scored.
Quick little step off here, and meanwhile at first base, Trotter Enright at first base. And the pitch from Plummer and swung and fouled back towards the Rose Bowl. Pretty day here in Pasadena. Low wind at the moment. Yes, last night we were seeing a little bit of breeze to left field, but currently quiet. Sunset coming pretty close here in Pasadena. Pitch from Plummer, fastball, and this one's hit to right center field, and this is going to fall. Enright round second, heads to third. This one gets to the wall. Enright's going for 4. Throw in, and the relay is going to be not in time.
Oh, he's going.
Meanwhile, throw goes into left field. And how about that? A Little League home run. And that's a way to get on the board. And that gives Jacob Freer the opportunity to go all the way around the bases, and now it's a tie ball game.
A brand new ball game here in the bottom of the first inning. Jacob Freer has been on a tear lately, brought in a few runs yesterday as well. Looking to stay hot throughout the summer for the Saints.
And stay hot he would like. I mean, a good piece of hitting and better base running, and that brings up Lane Hayworth, another left-handed hitter as he stands in high socks for a ball. Hayworth, a native of Louisville, Texas, 5'10", 195, also a Wichita State baseball player here in California for the summer. And yet another ball, fastball up, and that will make it 2-0. Already through 6 hitters here in the Saints lineup, so certainly offense not at a premium. Plummer back into motion. And a foul ball back our way. And I think it hit some bleachers to the left of the press area. 2-1 the count. Hayworth had a bit of a down season for the Shockers, only hit 182. Now, that previous year, his freshman year, he did hit over 300, hit 311, and became a regular in the Shockers lineup. He surged down the stretch in his freshman year, ended up making 31 starts, mainly in left field. And tonight, he's playing left field the same as yet another pop-up to the left side. And that's going to be Bonham, and he makes the catch, does the little pop-up dance, and just like that, this inning is over. Saints tie it up on 3 hits. And, of course, Jacob Freer with that Little League home run. 3-3 here, heading to the second. Back here in Pasadena, and we're having a bit of an offensive game today. Already 6 runs scored by both of these teams heading into the second inning. And the Saints are going to change pitchers. They turn over to Maximo Newhart.
Maximo Newhart's out of Glendale Community College. Pitched 30 2/3 for Glendale this past year with a 3.82 ERA and a 1.37 WHIP. Went 4-0 on the season. In those 30 innings, he allowed only 13 runs with 34 strikeouts.
And he comes into a game where the San Diego Power certainly have had power in their bats, and they'd love to let that continue here in Pasadena. And they're going to continue to face this lineup. Back at the top of the lineup, in fact, it will be Thomas Williams, the second baseman, leading it off. Newhart out of the stretch, sets at the belt, and the pitch. Fastball just outside, doesn't get the call. 1-0.
Williams flew out to center in his first at-bat.
Newhart with the pitch. This ball fouled off to the left. That's right, he fouled off, flew out rather to center field, and then it was the middle of that Bombers lineup that really came alive. Pitch in and a fastball on the outside, ball 2. Newhart with a bit of a short release, throws over the top. 3-3 here in Pasadena, and the pitch, and a ball hit pretty well down the left field line, but that will be well foul towards the batting facility for the Saints down the left field line. Back to 2-2 the count.
Newhart's pitched 2 innings in the CCL this summer so far. Has allowed 1 earned run off 3 hits with a walk. No strikeouts recorded yet.
Ground ball to the right side, and that will be Moseni. Throws on to first. A nice little out here to start the inning for the Saints. So a quick 4-3 ground out here and 1 out in the inning. And that will bring up the 2-hitter, Lucas Bonham. And in his last at-bat, he made it happen, hit a triple.
That triple is what got the Bombers started to put up that 3 spot. Saints answered right back. Now tied game. The top of the second inning.
Absolutely. Put a nice show on that one. As he takes the first pitch in for a strike. Bonham from El Segundo, California. So another local guy to SoCal as he takes a curveball on the outside for a ball. That makes it 1-1 the count. He's undecided, but this past year was at El Camino College here in LA as he takes a curveball over the third baseman, and that will be a nice seeing eye single to left field. Hayworth throwing it back in. And Lucas Bonham, have a day. First inning, hit a triple. Second inning, another nice single.
Very good offensive display we're seeing from him so far.
So that'll bring up Dylan Fishbaugh. Back in the first inning, Fishbaugh hit a double. And he did it on that first pitch, ended up coming all the way around to score. Now his head coach, Coach Taps at Stevens Institute, he said that Dylan specifically is, well, we'll get back to that as a pop-up here on the right side, and that will be Snyder going over to the side and able to make the catch for the the second out of the inning. And that's a big second out here on the mound for Newhart, who's come in and give the Saints a little bit of life here with 2 outs.
And Newhart wasting no time answering back after the single.
So a 4-3 put out, followed by Lucas Bonham with that single to left, and then the fly out. So 2 outs in the inning. First pitch swinging is Jeremiah Jones to left field. Hayworth under it, makes the catch, and the side is retired. 1 runner left on that 1 hit by Lucas Bonham. And so we stay tied here in Pasadena, 3-3.
Every day I spend my time drinking wine, feeling fine, waiting here to find the sign that I can understand. So every day I spend my time drinking wine, waiting here to find the sign.
What a piece of hitting from Ryan Stunt. Walked on by Lopez in time. And the Arroyo Cinco Saints take this one.
Back here with a pretty brisk first and second half of the second inning. So going back into the bottom of the second here, 3-3 between the San Diego Bombers and the Arroyo Seco Saints. And Matthew Maynard, the 7-hitter for the Saints coming up. He's catching tonight, and he'd love to keep it going here for the Saints. Maynard, a native of Allen, Texas, steps in, and Plummer throws an off-speed pitch down and away for a ball. Maynard currently attending Oral Roberts University, and for the Golden Eagles in his freshman year served as their backup catcher. Ball on the outside. He served as their backup catcher in 18 games and started 16. Hit just under the Mendoza line at 196 with 4 RBIs. Fastball just off the plate, 3-0. Plummer not getting the call.
Maynard's looking for his first hit in the CCL this year, 0 for 4 so far.
And that would be very nice to get, certainly, as back to a 3-1 count here. Plummer, brisk pace, fastball, fouled right back our way. And that'll make it a full count, 3-2 to start the second inning to Matthew Maynard. Maynard crouched in the box in the back of the plate and the pitch. Hard hit ball to right center field, and that's going to fall. And he's going to round second, and he's going to try for 2. Fishbaugh throws it into second, and he's going to get in there. Head first dive and safe, and a leadoff double. Yet another runner in scoring position for the Saints.
And Maynard really got that, hit it 100 off the bat.
Certainly had some extra pesto on that one, as the Saints dugout would, of course, love to get another run in here with no outs. So that brings up Kian Messeni, the 8-hitter, and playing second base, a left-handed bat. So he stands in, foot on the chalk, as a fastball well outside, and that'll be ball 1. Messeni from Ontario, Canada. Went to Our Lady of Mount Carmel Secondary School. And he transferred from Antelope Valley Community College to the University of Central Arkansas. Curveball up, and that'll be a ball. 1-1 the count. Excuse me, 2-0 the count.
Moseni's 2 for 7 on the season with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs for the Saints.
And he'd love to get this run in, certainly to give the Saints the lead. Fastball in there, and that's going to be a strike. 2-1 the count. And for the Bears up in Central Arkansas this past season, only had 3 at-bats, but he was 1 for 3. And, you know, he'd love to get more at-bats this season. A quick chopper here. Plummer fields it, throws it over to first, and that will be a quick first out to Mowlin. But that will advance the runner over to third. So Maynard over to third. Messeni with a productive out.
Good to get that run 90 feet closer with Noah Williams coming up to the bat. Williams does have the Saints' only home run of the season so far. Came a few days back when he hit it over the left field fence. Went a total of 397 feet.
Certainly would love that. So that brings up Noah Williams, left-handed hitter. Center fielder for the Saints as he takes his first pitch up, a breaking ball for ball 1.
Williams is out of Colorado State University Pueblo. Did play in the minors for a few years. Played in 92 games over 3 seasons with both the FCL Braves and Single-A Green Jackets. He was drafted in the 18th round of the 22 MLB amateur draft by the Braves, now back here in the CCL League.
And certainly a bit of an unconventional path for sure to go to minor league ball, then back to college ball. And now he's here in Pasadena in the California Collegiate League. Shows that that path is possible. And at CSU Pueblo this past season, had a pretty productive season. Hit .374, was a utility player for them, and he led the RMAC in triples with 6 and also had 11 home runs. Fastball up, and that'll even it up at 2-2. Runner on third, 1 out in the inning. Outfield playing moderately deep. Infield leaving the middle of the diamond open. Plummer, the pitch. Off-speed pitch, and that'll get into left field, and that will drop. And an RBI single for Noah Williams. Driving in Matthew Maynard. And just like that, Saints take the lead 4-3.
It's going to be Williams' 3rd overall hit of the season so far in 5 games.
Yeah, definitely not the strongest hit he's had, but certainly a hit is a hit. Hit that one off the handle to the left side. So Plummer sawed him off, but was able to get it out into the grass. And that'll bring up the top of the lineup, Eli Lopez. Now into hit.
Lopez singled in his last at-bat.
He takes in that first pitch for a strike, swinging.
He also came around to score on Jacob Freer's inside the park home run.
Runner on the move, and the throw in from second, and he's in there. Noah Williams swiping second base off of Parks, the catcher for the Bombers. And just like that, that changes the inning up. 1-1 the count, 1 out, and a chance for the top of the lineup to drive in Williams, who does have good speed. Plummer set, being held on at second base by Williams. And the pitch. Fastball, and that's going to be a foul ball. And that looked like a fair ball, at least to my eyes.
It definitely looked fair from up here in the press box. The third base umpire sends Eli back home.
And, I mean, that ball certainly appeared to go right over the bag and should have likely been a fair ball. Of course, we don't have replay here in the CCL. And that gives Plummer on the mound another chance. Swing and a miss. And that's going to be strike 3. So Eli Lopez not getting a break on that foul ball. Goes down swinging on a slider from Riley Plummer.
And if that ball was called fair, Noah Williams would have most likely very easily scored from second. Would have brought in another Saints run.
Yeah, and he certainly would have liked that, but that'll bring up Trotter and Wright. Back in the first, he had a single. Came all the way around to score. Runners off moving, and Williams gets to third, but that ball ends up getting to the backstop. But as Williams got to third, it looked like he might have stubbed his foot on the base. A little bit of a motion there with his leg. So he will be credited with the stolen base, but it does appear that he's favoring that right leg a little bit.
Yeah, taking a few steps, trying to maybe loosen it up a little bit.
Third base coach for the Saints, having a quick chat with him to see if he's okay. Field looking on, and certainly the Saints dugout, hoping that Williams, who has been a bit of a table maker certainly tonight, but just in general for the Saints this season, they would hope that that leg is okay. Seems like he's going to stay in this one. So it's 1-0 the count, 2 outs. Williams on third, Plummer the pitch, and a pop-up. Back behind third base, Bonham, and it actually is going to be Santiago making the catch, and that is how the inning will end. Saints able to take back the lead. They get that 1 run in, and so now it's a 4-3 ball game. Back here in Pasadena, top of the third, 4-3 Saints. We've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Saints. It's going to be Braylon Dritz. And he comes out of Abilene Christian University in Texas. And certainly he's coming in, I guess presumably a lot earlier than expected, as there's been a lot of run production in this game so far.
Dritz has pitched an inning for the Saints this year, was tagged for 3 runs off 2 hits, a walk, and did strike out 1 in that appearance. Looking for a clean inning here as the Saints have just taken a 1-run lead.
Yeah, certainly a clean inning is something that they would enjoy. And Dritz on the mound, as we mentioned, 6 feet tall. Just completed his freshman year at Abilene Christian U. But he's a California native. He's actually based out of Westlake, California. Born in 2005. As here, we're coming back here in the 3rd inning from Jackie Robinson Memorial Field here in Pasadena. And we're going to see the 5, 6, 7 of the Bombers lineup. That's going to start with Kyle Becker, who had a single back in the 1st inning. Becker, a left-handed batter in the box. Pitch in and a curveball from Dritz. Just missed the plate, ball 1. Dritz with an overhand delivery, starting with that curveball. 1-0 the count, and the fastball in, and Becker with a big swing and a miss. Evens back up at 1-1 the count. Becker currently in the portal, but he was formerly with the Nevada Wolfpack. Native of San Diego. And an off-speed pitch, and that looks like it got Becker on the leg. So a hit by pitch to start the outing on the mound here. And just like that, Dritz out of the stretch here with no outs. So that brings up Jack Mowlin. Earlier in the game, back in the 1st, hit a single. Now he's got another runner on. Becker with pretty decent speed. Taking a pretty decent-sized lead, getting held on at first base by Gannon Snyder. And the fastball up, and that will be ball 1. 1-0 the count here in Pasadena. And the pitch, fastball up again, ball 2. Control being a little bit difficult to come by here early on in this game. We've seen a couple of pretty significant misses here, so Mallon finds himself ahead 2-0.
Looks like the Saints also do have a...
And I'll hold you there one real quick. A fly ball to right field. That's going to be caught out in right. And that'll be out number 1 of the inning.
Looks like the Saints do also have a defensive replacement, and center field will get you who that replacement is in a second. But Noah Williams did start this game out there. Looks like he came out of this game after kind of going into 3rd running.
Yeah, he almost like stubbed his toe, or his foot rather, on 3rd base on that stolen base attempt. And a curveball down, and that'll be ball 1. And that's a big loss for them out there in center field. Williams does have good speed and has made some pretty excellent plays for the Saints. So 1-0 the count, runner on first, and he's going to step off and rethink this one. So Becker at first on the hit by pitch. 1 out in the inning. Mallon found himself out, and now it's James Theodore, the 7-hitter, as he swings and misses. 1-1. Theodore back in the 1st inning, hit a single. So he's 1 for 1 on the day. Pitch in and fouled back. A fastball down and away from Braylon Dritz. So now it's a 1-2 count. 1 out, runner on first. So the middle infield in double play depth. That's Eli Lopez and Keon Messeni playing closer to the bag with a right-handed hitter. Messeni would cover the base. Pitch in. Good pitch up at the top of the zone. Right at the belt or so, and that will be a ball. Evens the count up at 2-2. Plummer set, leg kick, off-speed pitch, and this one is dumped into right field, and a nice diving catch out in right field. And that's the way you do it. That's Joey Milto.
Joey Milto continues to have a really strong start to his CCL summer.
And he does that there certainly defensively, but has done a pretty good job offensively as well, as we see a quick mound visit here from the Saints pitching coach. Perhaps trying to, with his young pitcher, give him a little bit of strategy here with 2 outs to try and get out of this inning. And that was a quick mound visit, in fact. Milto seeing some action here in the 3rd inning. That first out of the inning from Jack Mowlin. That was an F9 for those of you recording at home, followed by James Theodore with another fly out and a diving play from Milto out in right field. So that brings up Tyler Parks. That's the catcher for the Bombers. 2 outs, runner on first in Kyle Becker. Pitch in, doesn't get the call. Fastball on the outside, ball 1. Four to 3 here in Pasadena. Saints up by a run, 2 outs. And the pitch and swing and a miss. Pretty good swing out of the plate from Tyler Parks. And back into this count is Braylon Dritz, 1-1. And he's set, and the pitch. And he goes, and ball in the dirt, and it looks like Becker's going to get to second base. And behind the plate, Maynard, he couldn't quite get to this one, was able to block it and keep it in front of him, but maybe had a little bit of trouble there finding the ball around the hitter. So 1-2 the count, but now a runner in scoring position. Of course, that would be the tying run with 2 outs here in the inning.
Dritz looking to strand Becker, that runner in scoring position with 2 strikes here, 2 outs.
And a fastball on the outside. Good pitch and a good bit of natural run on that pitch. Looked like a sinker on that one with some good break. Really trying to induce that ground ball or hit his target on the outside. And he's got that 3/4 release, so he's able to get that natural movement on that sinker. Runner on second, Becker, and the pitch. Fouled back. Out in the middle of the infield, Eli Lopez playing standard. Meanwhile, Musseni, the second baseman, holding Becker on. That leaves the 3-4 hole pretty open. Outfield playing moderate, maybe standard, slightly deeper in left field in Lane Hayworth. 2-2, 2 outs, runner on second. The pitch. Breaking ball and good take there at the plate. So Parks able to induce a full count. 2 outs, runner on second. Of course, if that ball finds grass, Becker would be able to score. Has shown good speed already in this game. 3-2. Looks back at Becker and the pitch. Fastball way up and out of the zone. Ball 4. So he walks Tyler Parks, the catcher. Had a free base open at first base, so it does set up the force now at any base with 2 outs. And that brings up the 9-hitter, Christian Santiago.
Santiago looking to at least tie this game up here with the runner in scoring position on second, if not more, for the Bombers.
And he absolutely would love to do that right now. Long hold, and the pitch. Fastball, or a sinker probably, on the outside part of the plate, ball 1. Santiago, as we mentioned, is a LA local from Valencia. Just finished his sophomore year. 5'9", 175. Plays the middle infield, shortstop and second base, but today he's in the 6th spot, playing shortstop. And the pitch, fastball, and that one is fouled back, out of play.
Santiago's 2 for 7 in the CCL this summer so far.
It's a good way to start the summer, certainly. And at Ellie Pierce, as we mentioned, he hit 385. So if there's anyone you want up to bat, certainly had 40 RBIs, it would be him. Another sinker on the outside. Ball 2. 2-1 the count, 2 outs. Bases juiced. Shadows starting to creep over the infield. Not necessarily in view of our hitters here, but certainly might be a little bit of a factor later, maybe in the next inning. Dritz sets. Open with the legs. The pitch. And this one is popped up to center field. And he makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. So a good job by Braylon Dritz to get out of the bases loaded jam, and he keeps the game exactly where it is. It's 4-3 Saints. Back here in the sunset in Pasadena, Southern California, certainly a beautiful setting for baseball, and certainly California collegiate baseball, but we do have a pitching change from the San Diego Bombers. Into pitch is the 6'5", 205 pitcher, Tyler Sandu.
Sandu made 11 total appearances for the Dons this past year, started 5 games, went 1-2 on the season, and in 18 2/3 pitched for the Dons, allowed 24 hits with 13 runs, 12 of those earned, 8 walks with 21 strikeouts in those 18 innings for a 5.79 ERA and a 1.71 WHIP.
And certainly would love to improve on those numbers next year. As we'll take a quick pause here, as it appears that 2 coaches are actually coming out to talk to Sandu on the mound, along with our home plate umpire and our catcher, Tyler Parks, as they're all having a little bit of a chat, and we're not quite sure what is going on out there. But a quick little delay here. And kind of previewing what this inning is going to look like for the Saints. You've got the heart of the lineup, 3, 4, 5. That'll be Joey Milto, followed by Gannon Snyder, and then Jacob Freer, who had a really good at-bat back in the first inning, where as the DH, he hit a double. So certainly that middle of the lineup providing a lot of power here for the Saints, and they'd love to have that continue here as we get into the sunset. And it actually appears that we might be getting a pitching change immediately, without Sandu actually having thrown even a single pitch. And I'm not quite sure what the implications of that are, because technically he has been brought in to pitch and has yet to throw a pitch, so this must be for an injury-related reason. Otherwise, he would actually not be allowed to switch the pitcher out, but it appears we are going to get a new pitcher. And so just like that, that's what you get with summer ball for sure. And it's going to be number 20, Wyatt Thomas, out of Golden West College and an LA native out of Huntington Beach, California. And so before Sandu even throws a pitch, that's going to be it for him. And so I've seen a lot of strange things in baseball, certainly in my playing career and certainly in broadcasting, but I have never seen an injury happen before the game actually starts.
Yeah, so we're wishing well to Sandu. Hopefully he's okay, but the new pitcher is going to be Wyatt Thomas out of Golden West College, originally from Huntington Beach. Has pitched 2 innings this summer with 1 walk.
So we'll pause here real quick, but just to kind of elaborate on how strange that can kind of be. I mean, you hate to have injury happen, certainly, especially in the summer season where many of these players are trying to find their new home. In fact, I saw someone with a shirt earlier that said Portal State to show what the Arroyo Seco Saints actually is. Certainly, college baseball and certainly summer ball is a way to get better as a player, but it's also a way to find your new digs. Find a new place to play as you transfer, certainly with the new NIL rules we have in college baseball.
Definitely seen a lot of these guys in the transfer portal for not only the Saints, but all their opponents as well.
And so it'll be Wyatt Thomas coming in. Now at Golden West last year, he threw 20 innings, had an ERA of 6.5, but he did have about 1 K per inning, 18 Ks in 20 innings, had 14 appearances for them. And so certainly that ERA number could see some improvement, but that's exactly what summer ball is for. As he gets his warm-up pitches in here and gets loose, certainly on short notice. But that's what injuries will do to you. Sometimes you just have to adapt. Tyler Sandu out of the game, Wyatt Thomas in.
The batter up for the Saints is going to be number 2 right fielder Joey Milto. He's 0 for 1 on the day.
Now, Milto had a flyout back in the first. And would love to get it going here as he comes up to the plate. It appears that Thomas is ready to go. And so just like that, we're going to get this inning started. Bottom of the third, getting started here at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field in Pasadena, right next to the Rose Bowl. So you can't ask for a more picturesque location for summer baseball. Certainly, weather is quite nice here this evening, 73 degrees. As now shadows over the pitcher's mound, and the first pitch in, and first pitch swinging, a fastball over to the right side, and Mowlin covers the base, 3 unassisted to start the inning.
Good way for Thomas to start out his appearance with 1 pitch and 1 out.
Yeah, you can't do much better than that, especially coming in with certainly an abbreviated warm-up routine, but that'll bring up the 4-hitter for the Saints in Gannon Snyder. He flew out rather, a pop-up to the right side of the infield back in the first inning. Pitch in and an off-speed pitch up and away, ball 1. And a fastball just off the plate. And on the mound, Thomas did not get the call from our home plate umpire for this evening, so it'll make it a 2-0 count. Another ball down, ball 3. Now, Snyder actually has baseball lineage in his family. He has a brother, Griffin, and 2 sisters, Sienna and Sawyer. But his father, Matt, played football collegiately at Central Michigan. Meanwhile, his brother, Griffin, played baseball at St. Mary's. Gets back into the zone, Wyatt Thomas, for a strike, 3-1. And to complete that thought, the sister Sienna, also a collegiate athlete herself, played softball at Michigan. So a lot of athletic prowess in that family for sure. Chopper over to third base. Santiago makes a good throw, and the pick could not be made by Mallon at first. It looks like that ball is going to get out of play. Likely going to be recorded as a single. But he advances over to second base. And just like that, a runner in scoring position for the Saints with one out.
And that was a nice play by Santiago at short. Just couldn't quite complete it.
And so that brings up Jacob Freer. And you might remember back in the first inning, hit a nice double. And that was part of that first inning where the Saints scored 3 runs. So certainly would love to repeat that fortune here, especially being up by a run here 4-3.
Freer already with 3 RBIs to his name today. That double turned into a Little League home run.
Certainly did, as he takes a ball 1-0. Now Freer goes to Azusa Pacific, but it actually is from Bellevue, Washington. So a little bit of a hotter summer down here in Southern California. Curveball left up, 2-0. He was born in 2006 in Bellevue. Played 3 years of varsity baseball at Newport High. Was an all-league selection. Fastball up. We get the appeal from the third base umpire. He did not go, so 3-0 the count. But Freer this year, as a true freshman, was a promising newcomer at Azusa. He was contending for a starting spot at third base, especially for a young player, was quite impressive. Was originally penciled in to be a middle infielder there, but made that switch to third base. Only got 10 at-bats, but hit 200. Pitch in from Thomas. And it looks like that was going to be ball 4. So with the walk, Freer going to first base, and that runner on second base in Gannon Snyder. First and second with 1 out, and that's going to bring up Lane Hayworth.
Hayworth's 0 for 1 today. Flew out to third in his last at-bat. Batting here with 2 runners on and 1 out.
Fastball in at just outside, 1-0. Yeah, to your point, Hayworth back in the first had that fly out to second base. Would love to change his fortunes here. His past season, and a ground ball actually, and this ball 3, 6, and 1. And that's going to be a double play. In fact, as it appears that Laneworth, as he crossed first base, ran into our first base umpire, but a double play nonetheless to end the inning. And so just like that, the Saints not able to capitalize on that runner in scoring position. So it stays 4-3 here as we finish the third.
Coming in this game, he has a 400 on-base percentage. He's going to get up with the 2 hits he has. He lines one.
That one's belted to right field, and that one is gone. How about Josh Livingston getting things started here for the Saints? He ropes a home run right over the right field. Jake Brown looking up. That one is gone. An opposite field home run. Alex Burge.
First pickles, then Oppo tacos. How about that for Alex Burge? Hit the home run to right. He was like, nah. I'm going to hit one to left now. How about a 3-run blast for the backstop?
Booms that one to right field. Matthew Thomas will just have to look back. That one is gone. Welcome to the game, Colton Dahl. Jacob Shart with a 3-run home run, the second 3-run home run of the game, and the lead continues to balloon. It's 9-1.
I mean, off the bat, you knew that one.
So we're back here in the 4th inning from Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, and yet another pitching change in this game. This time the Saints will give the ball to a right-handed pitcher, Christian Robb, 6'1" senior, currently at UT Arlington, but a transfer from Charleston Southern University.
In 2024 at Junior Charleston, he threw in 15 games with each outing coming from the bullpen, collected 24 innings of work, and held opposing batters to just a 160 average. He had the lowest whip on the team at 1.23.
Also noting, center field, Baylor University, Jack Little, when he arrived at the
And certainly would love to keep the Saints right exactly where they are in this 4-3 ball game. So he does have a 1-run lead to play with. And at the moment, top of the fourth, starting here in Pasadena. And we're going to see the top of the lineup here. Thomas Williams. This will be his third at-bat of the game. Flew out to center field and then grounded out to second, back in the second. So here in the fourth inning, new pitcher. Out of the stretch, set at the belt, and the pitch. Fastball with some pretty good velocity on it, 1-0.
Christian Robb also has a brother, Nicholas, who also plays for UTA baseball.
Baseball definitely running in that family as well. Another fastball on the outside part of the plate, 2-0. Fastball coming in at 88 miles per hour. Has a short release, throws with a 3/4 motion. 2-0 the count and the pitch. And this one's going to be fouled off to the left side. So we'll reset with a 2-1 count. Now, he actually had a couple of transfers out of high school. He started at Southwest Tennessee Community College, then as a junior transferred to Charleston Southern, and now at UT Arlington. Fastball, outside corner. And he wanted that call on the mound but didn't get it. So that's going to make it a 3-1 count here to Thomas Williams. Leadoff hitter for the Bombers, 4-3 Saints. Top of the fourth, and the pitch. And this ball is hit pretty well to left field, but right under it is Lane Hayworth, and he makes the catch out in left field. 1 out to start the inning.
Number 23, Lucas Bonham.
So that'll bring up Lucas Bonham. Has had a couple of at-bats already, and he has been productive. Had a triple back in the first, along with a single down the left field line in the second. And would love to keep it going here. Right-handed batter, open stance, hands still right near his ears. And the pitch. And he gets the outside part of the plate. Robb with a strike to start the at-bat against Bonham.
Robb looking for a clean inning here in his last appearance. Was tagged for 6 runs in 1 inning pitched in the Saints season opener against the San Diego Waves.
Yeah, and he certainly love a clean outing here if he can get it. And this ball's popped up in the infield, maybe shallow left field. Eli Lopez under it, and he'll make the catch. So that's how the second out of this inning, is going to occur. So 2 flyouts here to start the fourth, and this is the top of the lineup, but he's going to face the 3-hitter, Dylan Fishbaugh. Fishbaugh back in the first inning, hit a double and then flew out, pop-up style to the first baseman, Gannon Snyder, as a fastball in there, challenge, first pitch swinging for a strike. Robb, 6'1", out of Keller High School in Keller, Texas. And the fastball in out on the outside part of the plate, strike 2.
Fishbaugh 1 for 8 with a run scored and 1 walk so far in the CCL Summer League 25.
0-2 the count and the pitch. And a fastball, and this one just got away from him. Flew open a little bit with that front left shoulder. Likely trying to get an extra bit of pesto on that pitch. So it's a 1-2 count with 2 outs here. Shadows really coming over the field at the moment. And the pitch. And this ball's hit well, or maybe off the end of the bat rather, to Lopez. Little sinking pop-up, and that'll end the inning. So the score stays put exactly where it was. No outs and a pretty good first inning for Christian Robb. It's 4-3 Saints.
Coming in this game, he has a 400 on base percentage. He's going to get up with the 2 hits he has. He lines one.
That one's belted to right field, and that one is gone. How about Josh Livingston getting things started here for the Saints? He ropes a home run right over the right field. Jake Brown looking up. That one is gone. An opposite field home run. Alex Burge.
First pickles, then Oppo tacos. How about that for Alex Burge? Hit the home run to right. He was like, nah. I'm going to hit one to left now. How about a 3-run blast for the backstop?
Booms that one to right field. Matthew Thomas will just have to look back. That one is gone. Welcome to the game, Colton Dahl. Jacob Shart with a 3-run home run, the second 3-run home run of the game, and the lead continues to balloon. It's 9-1.
I mean, off the bat, you knew that.
Back here in the bottom of the 4th, 4-3 Saints. And staying in the game is going to be Wyatt Thomas, as he's going to face the 7-8-9 of the Saints lineup here. This will be the 3rd time through the order. It's going to be Matthew Maynard, Kian Moseni, and Jack Little, who is in for Noah Williams after that injury as he was stealing third base and stubbed his foot into the bag, had to be taken out of the game. So he's out in center field. Little, of course, a mainstay in the lineup these first couple of games. But we're going to start here with Matthew Maynard. First pitch in, and this is going to be a slider at the top of the zone, strike 1.
Maynard's 1 for 1 with a run scored today, doubled in his last at-bat.
Would love to keep it going here. And this ball's popped up right side. And that's going to be Mowlin with the grab at first base. And a very quick first out here in the 4th. So that's going to bring up Kian Moseni, the 8-hitter and playing second base for the Saints here this evening. Would love to get something going here to start this one. At Central Arkansas, only had 3 at-bats, but was 1 for 3, as we mentioned, as he takes breaking ball in here at the middle of the zone for a strike. Now, curiously, only had 3 at-bats, but 4 hit by pitches this past season for the Bears. Swing and a miss, 0-2 the count, 1 out in the inning. 4-3 the score here in Pasadena. Quick pace on the mound and the pitch, and a quick strike 3 on a breaking ball looking. So a backwards K for anyone recording at home, and that's going to bring up the now new 9-hitter of this game, and that's going to be number 11, Jack Little. Now Little, he's out of Baylor University, so a Big 12 kid, redshirt sophomore. And this past year, had 6 home runs for the Bears. Takes in a breaking ball for a strike. Now, those 6 home runs were 4th best for Baylor. And kind of a fun fact about him is that he's obviously not the only Jack Little in baseball, as he flies this one out to right field, and a sliding shoestring catch by Jones. And a very quick inning here on the mound. Pop out,
strikeout looking, and a fly out to right field, and that'll do it here in the fourth. So our score will stay put. It's 4-3 Saints. Back here in the top of the fifth at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, right next to the Rose Bowl. Can't get much picturesque than that. And once again, we're going to see a new pitcher here for the Saints. It's going to be Ethan Moran, 6'3", 220. And he'll be a right-handed thrower coming in for the Saints. Now, he's got a bit of an interesting history here. Has a couple of places that he's played, Golden West College and Fullerton College, and he's currently undecided in the transfer portal, trying to find his way onto a college roster at a new school this season.
Moran last pitched in the Saints' 17-4 win against the Philippines, pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, no runs scored.
Oh, that's because I'm thinking of my dog. My dog's. And he comes into a game where the Saints are up by a run. Pretty briskly played game so far. First pitch was right around 6:15, and we're at 7:30 so far. So on pace for about a 3-hour game, and considering how we were in last night's game where we didn't actually complete play. We only got to about the 7th inning where we had to mark that game as incomplete because, as some of you may know, the lights turn off here at 10 p.m. Now, of course, one thing I want to mention to people viewing at home is we do have a single camera angle for this game tonight. And, of course, in the future, of course, we'd love to have multiple camera angles as we have. As first pitch swinging, that's going to be a single by Jeremiah Jones. And that's how this 5th inning is going to start. First pitch, first swing, and that's going to be a single for Jones. So that's going to bring up Kyle Becker. He's had a couple of at-bats already. A single back in the first, then a hit by pitch in the 3rd inning. And to continue my point there, our production usually, of course, a multicam operation. Today we had a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're rocking with just the home plate camera tonight. But certainly in future games, you can expect to see that multicam along with hopefully one out in center field, like a typical TV broadcast. But 1-0 count here, and that'll be 2-0 with that pitch to Kyle Becker. Becker, a left-handed hitter. Back in the box. Runner on first in Jeremiah Jones. Small lead. Hold and the pitch. Fastball, and he fouls this one straight back. 2-1 the count. San Diego Bombers in the middle of their order right now. Becker, the 5-hitter. On deck is Jack Mowlin. They'd love to continue having production out of this lineup as they have currently, as this fastball gets away from our catcher, Maynard. And just like that, Jeremiah Jones gets to second base. And that'll be called a wild pitch, certainly, as that fastball just got away from him. So he spiked a fastball there on that count, 2-1, and now it's a 3-1 count with a runner in scoring position. That's Kyle Becker on second with no outs in the inning. Set at the belt and the pitch. And this one a ground ball up the middle, and that one is going to not get through, but there's a collision. Our middle infielders there, Eli Lopez and Keon Messeni, ran right into each other there. Their hats coming off and certainly their sunglasses, and both of them appear shaken up. So a collision, and that's going to be ruled an RBI single. So on the play, Jeremiah Jones coming all the way around to score. Becker at first base, and now you have to hope that they're okay. Both of the middle infielders for the Saints are all right, as a couple of trainers are coming out to check on them.
They're just hoping for the best here for the Saints infield. Eli Lopez and Keon Messeni seasons are just beginning here in the CCL.
And certainly both of them having pretty solid starts here. Certainly on the defensive side, both of them have flashed the leather for sure. Aaron Milam, the head coach for the Saints, also out there talking to his players, both trainers out. And they're taking a look at what seems to be their foreheads to see if they're all right, because that collision was head on right at each other, and certainly that's where communication becomes so important, especially in the middle infield and certainly on balls like that where it could go either way.
Yeah, that it was. Communication very important in baseball, like you mentioned. Just very much a bang-bang play there. The game is also now tied again.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, it's a good point that Jeremiah Jones, with that collision, was able to go from second to third all the way to home. And so now the game is tied here in the fifth inning. The Bombers getting back on the board. All their run production happened back in the first inning otherwise, where they put a 3-spot up against Cade Schumar, the starter for the Saints. Then the Saints came back and were able to get 3 runs on the board to tie it up. Then in the second, another run to take the lead.
Yeah, this is turning into a pretty long pause here. It looks like our athletic trainer is mainly worried about Keon Messeni. Eli Lopez looks to be okay, standing to the side.
And we'll let the trainers take a look at both of the middle infielders, and we'll have an update for you in a second when we come back.
Showcase earlier this week.
Currently riding a 6-game hit streak as that one sent up the middle. Gordon will fling that one on to second. Sheehan O'Connor on to first. Double play, and Spencer C.
Both are the highest marks of the team.
Burge sends that one into center field. Kemmerer looking back on it, and it's gone! Oppo Taco, Alex Burge, have yourself a last 48 hours. Saints grab the lead early, it's 2-0.
And Burge, you know, Jacob Sharp took the home run lead for the Saints last night, and Alex Burge was like, no, I want that.
Around 8 strikeouts in his last 4 games, chops that one towards the second baseman. What a play by Sheehan O'Connor. Flings that one on to first. Took it high. Livingston, adios. That ball is long gone, and that's a 7-4 lead for the Saints.
I mean, Burge and Livingston, they just have to hit home runs in the same game. They just have to. It's like something's wrong if they don't. They've done it already once this season against the Riptide. Here for the second time, having a 2-run shot to right field. Wow, was he doing that a couple years ago?
He was, yep.
Walk, so an 0 for 2 night for him. That one is sky high into left field. Jacob Shart running it down. What a catch.
And we talk time and time again, just for what could be an inning.
1-2, that one smoked to Gordon. Throws it on to first, my Lord. 1-2, that one is smoked into center field. Kemmer looking back on it, and that one is gone. Jacob Shart, back-to-back games with a home run. It's 11-5.
Oh, this is absolute drama here by the Saints offensive hitters. I mean, Burge ties the Saints lead at 3 after Shart put up.
And welcome back here as we took a quick injury break there to check on our middle infielders for the Saints. That's Eli Lopez and Keon Maseni. And both of them are staying in the game, and it appears that they are both okay. And we appreciate you waiting with us on that break to ensure that both players are okay out there, as they will stay in, and we will see how they feel. But at the moment, we're getting back to play here. And with that, we're going to see Jack Mowlin after that break. So just to catch you up on what just happened, Kyle Becker hit a ground ball to the middle infield, and our two middle infielders there collided. So now he's at first base. And Mowlin up, and a hit by pitch, first one.
The game is tied as well. Jeremy Jones came to score on that Kyle Becker single. So it's a 4-4 ball game in the top of the 5th inning. Ethan Moran is pitching for the Saints. Bombers now have 2 runners on with no outs in the inning.
That's right. First and second here with no outs. And we're seeing the bottom of the lineup now for the Bombers. Now it's James Theodore. Had a single back in the first inning and flew out to right back in the third. So he's 1 for 2. And the pitch and a fly ball to right field. Milto back. And he's going to tag. Becker gets to third standing. The throw comes in a little bit too late. So now runners on first and third with 1 out. Sets up the double play with our middle infielders. But just like that, they are 90 feet away from taking the lead once again.
And that ground ball would be huge. Get the potential double play here and get out of this top frame with the game still tied for the Saints.
So Ethan Moran back in the stretch. Runner on first and third, 1 out, and the pitch. Fastball. Down and away, ball 1. Parks, the catcher for the Bombers here today, in the 8th spot. Had a walk in his last at-bat. Ground ball to the left side and right. Over to second, and the throw from Maseni, and he gets the double play to get out of the inning. A 5-4-3 double play. And just like that, this inning is concluded. Able to strand 2 runners there, and this game stays tied. It's 4-4.
Coming in this game, he has a 400 on-base percentage. He's going to get up with the 2 hits he has. He lines one.
That one's belted to right field, and that one is gone. How about Josh Livingston getting things started here for the Saints? He ropes a home run right over the right field. Jake Brown looking up. That one is gone. An opposite field home run. Alex Burge.
First Pickles, then Oppo Tacos. How about that for Alex Burge? Hit the home run to right. He was like, nah. I'm going to hit one to left now. How about a 3-run blast for the backstop?
Booms that one to right field. Matthew Thomas will just have to look back. That one is gone. Welcome to the game, Colton Dahl. Jacob Shart with a 3-run home run, the second 3-run home run of the game, and the lead continues to balloon. It's 9-1.
I mean, off the bat, you knew that.
Back here in Pasadena, bottom of the 5th coming up, and Christian Robb, the pitcher for the San Diego Power, still out there to continue his outing, and we're going to see the top of the lineup here for the Saints. 1, 2, 3, starting with Eli Lopez, who had a bit of a scary collision out there in the middle infield with his second baseman, Kale Messeni, and he's going to come up here to bat and certainly staying in the game and seems okay. So he's going to face Christian Robb here, and certainly would love to get on base to start this inning.
Yeah.
First pitch in, and a fastball for a strike.
Glad to see Eli Lopez staying in this game. Very key component to the Saints lineup. Started all 5 games so far, 1 for 2 on the day with a run scored.
Off-speed pitch up at the belt, ball 1. And Lopez back in the first had a single, then struck out in the second. 1-1 count, ball on the outside, 2-1. 4-4 ball game, 2-1 count here. Top of the lineup in Eli Lopez. And a fastball swung on, and he's right on that one, fouled straight back. So 2-2 the count to Eli Lopez. He's had a pretty good season so far for the Saints and had a good junior season at Cal State Fullerton, as now this count is full, 3-2. He'll be a senior there next year, but as a junior hit .314, had a couple of home runs, and had 12 doubles. And a pop-up to the right side. Mowlin going to the right by the dugout, and he will not make the catch. Just out of the view of our press box. So I had to make sure that the call was correct, but that ball fell on that pop-up, so we'll do it again here with a full count. Going back to Eli Lopez, his sophomore year, he played in 53 out of 54 games, started 52 games out at Fullerton, and he finished that sophomore year second on the team with a .300 batting average. And a swing and a miss, and that'll get him out on that swing. 1 out here in the inning.
It's going to be Lopez's second strikeout of the day.
Second strikeout and a good way to start the inning on the mound for Christian Robb. And he's going to face the 2-hitter for the Saints, Trotter Enright. Enright had a single back in the first, then flew out, or popped out rather, to shortstop. That's Santiago for the Bombers. Left-handed batter, and the pitch, and this one is a off-speed pitch that is well outside. Two 2-0 the count. And a ground ball to shortstop. Santiago with the throw over, and he'll take him out. 6-3 with the putout and 2 outs. So that'll bring up Joey Milto, and I apologize, I meant to say Wyatt Thomas on the mound here for the San Diego Bombers, not Christian Robb, who is the pitcher for the Saints at the moment. So Joey Milto, the left-handed batter, coming in to hit here. The 3-hitter, as we mentioned, flew out to left field in his first at-bat, then had a 3 unassisted putout in his second, back in the third.
Wyatt Thomas, the pitcher for the Bombers, is through 2 2/3. Only allowed 1 hit so far with 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Now facing Milto with 2 outs.
1-0 the count. And fouled back. That evens it up at 1-1 the count. 2 outs in the inning, bottom of the 5th. Milto, of course, would love to extend this inning if he can. 2 outs. Long hold and the pitch. Fastball. Down and in. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. Milto, left-handed batter, as we mentioned. Hands close to the ears and the pitch. The inside part of the plate does not get the call. Wyatt Thomas, that is. So 3-1 the count. Good eye by Joey Milto at the plate. So he steps in here, and he's in a hitter's count. Swing and a miss. 3-2, so a full count with 2 outs in the inning. 4-4 ball game. Bombers scored in the top of the 5th. So Saints would love to respond, but chances becoming slim in this half, and the pitch fouled back. So a little bit of a battle brewing here. And so we'll redo this full count.
Milto 0 for 2 today. Is having a nice start to his season. Had 6 RBIs in 1 game a few days back.
Certainly a good start to the season. 3-2 pitch, and this one's hit pretty well to right field. And a little slide catch by Jones out in right field, and that will end the inning. So nothing to talk about here in this half. We'll head to the 6th inning. 4-4 ball game. Back here in Pasadena, top of the 6th inning, and yet another pitching change. This time it's going to be Garrett McGuigan, 6'3" pitcher out of Studio City, California. And he's bounced around a little bit, actually spent some time up in Berkeley for the California Golden Bears. And most recently is at Golden West College. And he's a right-handed pitcher this past season. Only threw 6 innings over there, but had a 4.5 ERA. Back in tonight for the Saints.
McGuigan tossed an inning in the Saints' loss to the Waves, that 12-9 loss. He allowed 2 earned runs in the 1 inning off 2 hits with 2 walks, looking to calm things down a bit for the Saints in their overall 5th game of the season, sitting at 2-1 on the season. The suspended game that occurred yesterday, not official yet, not counting towards their record.
So McGuigan will come in and have an inning here to start his evening, but quick little conversation here happening with our middle infield. It looks like we're going to see a bit of a substitution here at first base for the Saints.
It's going to be number 7, Levi Medella, taking the place of number 9, Gannon Snyder at first base.
Now Medella attends Shorter University, a sophomore originally from Hawaii. So he's in the game to replace Snyder at first base. So a lot of changes and a lot of substitutions certainly on the mound today for sure. First pitch in for McGuigan and a fastball in there for a strike. Now he's facing Christian Santiago, the 9-hitter for the Power. A 1-1 count, 4-4 ball game. And he sets, and the pitch. Fastball on the outside. And that'll be a 1-1 count. Santiago at the plate. Last came up in the third where he flew out to center. And we actually have a pinch hitter instead of Santiago. It's going to be Dante Leach. So Dante Leach coming in as a substitution for Christian Santiago.
Leach is a senior at Ottawa University playing for the Bombers this summer. 2 for 7 so far with a run scored and 1 RBI under his belt this season.
And another ball. So he works this count back full. 3-2 the count. No outs facing Garrett McGuigan. Here in the middle innings in Pasadena, the sun has officially set. The lights are on. And this one is a fastball well outside. So Dante Leach heads to first base for a full count turned into a walk. And to give you some background on Leach real quick, he's a native of Sacramento, California, 5'10", 175. To your point, mentioned that he plays for Ottawa U, the Spirit. And he, at first base, has a lot of speed. 21 stolen bases this past year, so he is a threat to run. So back to the top of the lineup. Runners off, and the throw. And the tag, and they got him. Perfect strike from behind the plate by Matthew Maynard. And Eli Lopez, the tag to get the speedy Dante Leach. We just referenced how he had 21 stolen bases, but he is off the bases now. 1 out in the inning.
And McGuigan and Maynard doing a good job getting that runner off the bag in this tied game.
And this ball's down the line, and that's going to be fair. Past a diving Medella, who just came into the game, and Williams heads to second for a stand-up double. And so had Leach was able to steal second there, that certainly would have been the go-ahead score here for the Bombers, but instead it will just be a stand-up double for Thomas Williams. He's been putting the ball in play, certainly. That was his 4th at-bat. Finally gets in the hit column with a double. And that's going to bring up Lucas Bonham. Now, Bonham, you might remember, came back in the 4th inning, and he had a pop-out to shortstop, but had a triple and a single back in the 1st and 2nd innings. So runner on second. McGuigan, the pitch. Fastball outside. Ball 1.
Bonham did also score one of the 4 runs the Bombers have today.
Yeah, Bonham at the plate. This past year was at El Camino College. He helped that team reach Game 2 of the Southern California Regionals. He had 2 hits in that game, including a double. This ball's fouled off to the right. Now, in that game, the Warriors ended up losing 17-7. And that made the Warriors finish their season off in the postseason at 21-21. But he had a pretty productive season in general. Look, he hit .377. So a lot of pop in that bat. 6 home runs and nearly 60 RBIs. Curveball, or slider rather, on the outside. Ball 2. 2-1 the count. To Lucas Bonham. He attended El Segundo High School locally here in El Segundo, of course. And the pitch. Off-speed pitch to the left side and right. Behind the bag, throw to first, and he got him. That keeps that runner Williams right at second base.
Over to Levi Medella.
So 5-3 put out and right to Medella. Runner on second base stays put. And now the third batter in this lineup, Dylan Fishbaugh, coming up. And he would love to drive in a run here to give the Bombers the lead.
Fishbaugh 1 for 3 today with a run scored and 1 RBI.
And this one hit well to left field, and going back is Hayworth, and he makes the catch just shy of the warning track. And that might have been the best contact we've seen this entire game, but not enough to get past the speedy Hayworth in left field. So this game stays exactly where it is, 4-4 ball game heading into the bottom of the 6th.
Every day I spend my time drinking wine, feeling fine, waiting here to find the sign that I can understand. So every day I spend my time
Got him out. No, hit the left field, and what a piece of hitting from Ryan Scott. Well done by Lopez in time. And the Arroyo Cinco Saints take this one.
And back here in Pasadena, bottom of the 6th, Sid Iyer here alongside Sydney Ferris. Happy to be with you this evening for pretty offensive contest, 4-4 ball game as we head into the bottom of the 6th. And still on the mound for the Bombers is Wyatt Thomas. And meanwhile for the Saints this inning, we're going to see their 4, 5, 6 hitters. Levi Medella, the new hitter who replaced Gannon Snyder, followed by Jacob Freer and Lane Hayworth. But right now it's going to be Levi Medella coming up to the plate. And this will be his first at-bat of the evening. Check over to third base. Third base umpire says he held up. Ball 1.
Medella 4 for 10 for the Saints so far this summer. 2 RBIs.
And a pop-up behind the backstop, and this one is going to hit a bleacher. Hope that bleacher's all right. Give it a Band-Aid. Now Medella, native of Hawaii, 6'1", 215 pounds, attends Shorter University in Rome, Georgia. Was a transfer from Hawaii. He redshirted in 2025. Fouled back. In his freshman year, though, he did hit .260, had 1 home run and 5 RBIs. Had a good start to the season, though. Against the Philippines baseball group, he went 2 for 5 with an RBI, along with 2 for 5 in opening night against the San Diego Waves. Breaking ball on that 1-2 count makes it a 2-2 count to Levi Medella. Still a 4-4 ball game here in Pasadena. Temperatures now just below 70 degrees at 69. And a fly ball hit decently well down the right field line. Jones to his right by the line and makes the catch. So Medella is retired. The first batter faced for Wyatt Thomas ends up being an out, and that'll bring up Jacob Freer. Now Freer came back up in the 3rd inning. And last at bat he ended up walking. But in that first inning, he had a double that he hit pretty significantly. Ended up coming all the way around to score. Freer, left-handed batter, set up at the back of the box against the righty Thomas. And a fastball outside, ball 1.
Yeah, Freer hit that bases clearing double with 2 runners on. Then he scored himself on the Little League home run, responsible for three out of the Saints' 4 runs today. 4 for 9 on the season.
Yeah, that home run really got the party started for the Saints early in the game, taking advantage of some defensive miscues from the Bombers. This one, a breaking ball fouled back, doinked off a pole. Really dramatically hit off the backstop. Quickly retrieved by a member of the Royal Seiko dugout. So 1-2 the count. Jacob Freer, left-handed batter, the pitch. Swing, and looks like that was caught behind the plate by Parks, catcher for the Bombers. So that'll go down as a strikeout swinging on Jacob Freer. So a good start to the inning for Wyatt Thomas on the mound. So that brings up the 6-hitter, Lane Hayworth. Hayworth 0 for 2 so far, had a fly out and then grounded into a double play back in the 3rd inning. Thomas the pitch. An off-speed pitch on the inside, ball 1. Hayworth, yet another lefty hitter in this lineup. His freshman year back at Wichita State, he surged down the stretch and became a regular in that starting lineup. Played in 37 games and made 31 starts. And he hit over 300 in that span as he took a fastball up there for ball 2. 2 outs in the inning. Fastball inside part of the plate. Strike 1. So 2-1 the count.
Thomas threw 3 2/3 for the Bombers, only allowed 1 hit, no runs so far. Doing a good job at keeping the score the way it is.
And this one lined to the right side off the end of the bat. Was early on that fastball. That'll be foul. So 2-2 count. Similar to a couple of players we've seen, he has baseball in his family. His father, Chad, played baseball collegiately for Brookhaven Junior College. And he's majoring in finance. So he's a smart kid. Fouled off to the left side on a off-speed pitch up in the zone. 2-2 count, 2 outs, 4-4 ball game here at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field in Pasadena. Outfield playing moderately deep. Infield playing standard, and the pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Mallon throws it over to Thomas, who's covering, and they get the out. 3-1 to put out there. And so it'll stay a 4-4 ball game as we enter the 7th inning here.
Every day I spend my time drinking wine, feeling fine, waiting here to find the sign that I can understand. So every day I spend my time
Got him out. Goes to the left field, and what a piece of hitting from Ryan Scott. Well done by Lopez in time. And the Arroyo Seiko Saints take this one.
Back here in Pasadena, top 7 coming up. Saints on the field and continuing to have a tie ball game here. A lot of that offensive production happening earlier in the game. Now, of course, the Saints scored 4 runs in the first 2 innings. Meanwhile, the Bombers scored 3 in the first, then scored a single run back in the 5th inning. So it's been pretty tight so far, but after a quick little injury scare there in the middle infield, it's been a pretty brisk game so far.
The Saints are starting out this inning with a new pitcher. It's going to be number 20, Mason McDonald out of Cal State San Marcos. Pitched 22 innings with a 5.73 ERA and a 2.14 WHIP this past year for San Marcos. Allowed 20 runs, 14 of those earned with 27 strikeouts.
Yeah, McDonald, we actually had a chance to chat with him yesterday on the broadcast, me alongside Riley Horn. And one thing he mentioned, he's a California kid, grew up in Southern California, and in the transfer portal at the moment, hoping to find a new home as he throws that fastball in there with good velocity. Ball 1. That was 91 on the gun. 1-0 pitch. Fastball right at the knees. Strike 1, 1-1 the count, 93 miles per hour on the gun. So good speed coming out of the pen from McDonald. Turns and fires. Curveball hit to the right side. Moseni throws it to first, and 1 out. So a quick first out there on Jeremiah Jones to start the inning. And just like that, we're going to see Kyle Becker, the 5-hitter. Now, he last came up back in the 5th inning. Had that hit by pitch as well back in the 3rd. Pitch from McDonald. Fastball in there for a strike. McDonald has a bit of a turn to his motion. Almost reminds you of like a Johnny Cueto or a Tim Lincecum. Fastball, struck straight back, rather. Quick 0-2 count. And in addition to pretty good velocity, of course, that couple of fastballs we've seen around 92, 93. Has a quick pace on the mound. Pitch on the outside, great pitch. But that'll be a 1-2 count now with 1 out. McDonald back on the mound, out of the windup, and the pitch. Just a little bit low. So Becker evens up the count, 2-2 here with 1 out. Tie ball game, 4-4. Off-speed pitch, hit to center field. Little ranges back, and he makes the catch. And a quick 2 outs here for Mason McDonald on the mound.
And now batting for the Bombers, number 22, Jack Mullen.
So that brings up Jack Mowlin. Mallon, his 4th plate appearance of the night, had a single back in the 1st, flew out to right, then a hit by pitch back in the 6th. McDonald to pitch, curveball, doesn't get the call. Good pitch. Maybe a little bit high, maybe at the belt, but it started at the letters. It didn't get that call from the home plate umpire, but right back on it, 1-0 count, fastball swing and a miss. So comes back in immediately, challenges him with the fastball, 1-1 the count. Fastball between 91 and 93. And the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. Looked like a foul tip on that one. 1-2 the count, 1 pitch away from getting out of this. Back on the mound already. Meanwhile, Mallon trying to slow the pace down here, taking his time between pitches. And McDonald's fires. Swing and fouled off to the right side. Into the parking lot here by the Rose Bowl. 1-2 the count.
Mallon's 0 for 1 today. Out of Regis University. 1 for 2 on the season for the Bombers.
Only 2 at-bats. Would love to collect another hit here if he can. McDonald fires. Fastball. 93 on the gun there. Just missed the outside part of the plate. And that'll even it back up at 2-2. And the pitch. Swing, and this one is going to be fouled off a bleacher. No one going to collect that ball, so just going to hang out here and watch the game with us. 2-2 the count. We'll do it again. And the pitch. And swing and popped up. Behind home plate. Maynard makes the catch. And a good play. Had to take off his face mask and basically sprint straight towards the Bombers' dugout here. And that is how this inning will end. A good start for Mason McDonald out of the pen. Just like that, game stays tied here in Pasadena.
Coming in this game, he has a 400 on base percentage. He's going to get up with the 2 hits he has. He lines one.
That one's belted to right field, and that one is gone. How about Josh Livingston getting things started here for the Saints? He ropes a home run right over the right field. Jake Brown looking up. That one is gone. An opposite field home run. Alex Burge.
First pickles, then Oppo tacos. How about that for Alex Burge? Hit the home run to right. He was like, nah. I'm going to hit one to left now. How about a 3-run blast for the backstop?
Booms that one to right field. Matthew Thomas will just have to look back. That one is gone. Welcome to the game, Colton Dahl. Jacob Shart with a 3-run home run, the second 3-run home run of the game, and the lead continues to balloon. It's 9-1.
I mean, off the bat, you knew that one.
And we're back here in Pasadena, 4-4 ball game. And here in the booth, we've got Liam Thatcher, who started yesterday's game. Liam, good to have you. Yeah. Now, Liam, you started yesterday's game. What was kind of your focus on the mound going into it?
Just wanted to pound strikes, throw as many fastballs as I can. It's my best pitch, so just throw that, fill the zone with that. And it's a good team, so just pitch it up.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely a good team, and ended up having a bit of fireworks in that game. I mean, certainly, did you feel that in the dugout? I mean, there were 4 hit-by pitches in that game.
Yeah, I mean, I hit the guy on accident that started this whole chain of things, but it's almost fun when it's like that, super competitive.
Yeah, I mean, you love to have a competitive environment, certainly in summer baseball. But I think, what was your focus kind of, obviously, you're a local guy, and, being able to play in Pasadena is certainly nice. What has it been like for you so far playing with the Saints and kind of the summer league schedule?
It's great. I've never played summer ball, and I grew up really close, like 10 minutes away, and always heard about the Saints. And I was telling my coach, I'd love to play summer ball out here, see what it's about, and it's just great. And I love being out here. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, certainly. Nice experience for sure. Getting to play in the lights here in Pasadena. Quick little update for you.
Up next, number 26,
Quick walk here
Leon
for Matthew Maynard as he heads over to first base to start off this inning. And that'll bring up Kale Maseni, who had a bit of a scary play there happen in the middle infield with Eli Lopez. And I guess maybe kind of talking about getting to know your teammates and what that's like. Now, obviously, you guys didn't really meet each other as a team until, very recently, of course. Certainly we're early in the season, but what has that been like kind of getting to know a brand new group of guys?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I don't know. I've always felt like baseball guys always tend to mesh super well together. We all want to do the same thing, play ball as long as we can. It's just nice to meet everybody, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, definitely fun for sure.
Liam, how has it been, coming to summer ball, from college to summer ball? What's been some of the main differences and adjustments for you?
Well, I was a community college kid playing out here, and then the competition is way better, and it's interesting to see like the JUCO guys that are in here. Then you see these big name D1 guys, and it's just a lot of adjusting, and it kind of it's good to see how you project against guys like that.
What's been your favorite thing about playing with the Saints so far?
I mean, the guys are great. I love everybody. Everybody's super cool, super fun to be around. It's a long day here, and it's super fun to be around everybody for sure.
Absolutely. And a quick mound visit here for a new pitcher on the mound for the Bombers. That's going to be Gavin Pacheco, local guy from Huntington Beach, California. Actually went to Huntington Beach High School. A quick little mound visit here after that first walk to Matthew Maynard. And here down 1-0 to Kia Maseni. And certainly, have there been any favorite guys? Certainly, I mean, talk about how you guys are living together, in the dorms. Like, what has that experience been like, and maybe how does that compare to maybe college life?
Well, I mean, I don't live in the dorms. I'm living at home right now, but I haven't had a chance to stop by. But we're talking about like a poker night and stuff like that, and I think just getting to know everybody is the best part about it, I think. And then you get to play the summer with them, and you really get to know everybody, and that's for sure the best part. Like, the people's definitely the best part.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a former player myself. I was committed to play at UC Davis, and so back in the day, it felt like such a small world when you get to meet players and kind of get to know them and play against them for sure. This ball's popped up right in front of the plate, and he makes the catch. That's Bonham, Lucas Bonham with the catch for one out. And that'll bring up Jack Little, so the 9-hitter who came in for Noah Williams, who exited the game on a stolen base attempt to third base. One out in the inning.
And Liam, you mentioned how important bonding is with these guys. We always see the pitchers out there playing hacky before the game. Is there anything else you guys like to do?
Man, it's a lot of just chopping it up, talking about stuff, and it's funny how similar everybody is, just all being college pitchers, and they're all super laid back. It's a way different change of pace from everything for sure.
And a quick stolen base attempt here, and he gets into second, and that throw goes into center field. That's Matthew Maynard, able to get to second base on that stolen base attempt. So runner in scoring position with one out, and of course this is still a tie ball game. And I kind of want to revisit what happened yesterday. I mean, there was a lot of tension there. I remember, a couple of people from your dugout even got thrown out of the game. What kind of happened there?
I don't know. I think it's it's a lot of miscommunications, and the umpires have a hard time managing all that and understanding what's kind of going on, because they're really just from the outside looking in, and they just kind of have to do what they can.
Ground ball to the right side. Williams throws him out. That'll advance the runner over to third base. 2 outs in the inning, so Jack Little with a productive ground out.
So that does put the Saints' go-ahead run 90 feet away in this tied game. And Liam, the Saints' offense has been really good this year so far. How is it for you as a pitcher knowing that the bats have your back?
It makes my job really easy. You don't have to worry about much. A lot of less pressure when you're pitching. When there's less pressure, it's way easier to pitch. And it's just you can execute and not have to worry about it. And I trust my defense, and I trust my hitters entirely.
It's definitely nice as a pitcher to have that good offense behind you. I mean, yesterday you guys scored 11 runs, and we didn't even finish the game yet.
Exactly, yeah.
Just to see the lights kind of turn out at 10 o'clock is one of the strangest experiences I've ever seen.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to go that long, yeah.
And with that, Eli Lopez, so we're back at the top of the lineup, and he steps in, takes that first pitch for a ball on the outside. 1-0 pitch. And a fastball up, just misses the top of the zone. 2-0 the count. Now, Liam, as a local guy, you grew up in Altadena, what's kind of been, obviously you're very close to home, as you mentioned, staying with family, I'm sure. And just being able to play also at Glendale Community College, you stayed close by. Was that kind of the goal to, want to be close to home? And, what's kind of, is that certainly going to change? Do you want that to change?
So, I wasn't really great out of high school. Then I got to develop at Glendale, and just staying home was good and saved my mom a lot of money for school, too. So I've kind of got the leverage to go wherever I want to go to school now, which is great.
I love that, yeah. Take advantage of that situation for sure. Do you plan on going back to Glendale, or are you in the transfer portal?
So I finished my sophomore year up, so I only get 2 years of JUCO eligibility. So now I'm looking to see where I go at the 4-year level.
Nice. Any preference about where you want to go geographically?
No, my family's all from out east, so something out there would be really fun, but I'm really just trying to find a different scene, a different spot, new place, meet new people.
Yeah, certainly that would be nice. East Coast baseball is a totally different animal, though, with the weather, of course. With college, you start in February, and
It's definitely cold, and you're dealing with weird weather as this ball's hit up the middle, and that's going to drive in a run. And Trotter Enright getting it done and putting the Saints up with a run here in the 7th inning. And that's a 5-4 ball game now for the Saints with potential for more with that runner on third.
You know, and Liam, we kind of already touched on this, but just yesterday you were down 8-1 in the suspended game, down here 3-0, and back on top 5-4. And I know you already mentioned, you know, the offense just picking you up, but really, how does that just affect you, knowing even if you're down 7 runs, you're still in the game?
Yeah, just a lot of faith. And in community college, we always said like the game didn't start to the 7th inning anyway. So you know, everything that happens before is just what happens, and then you have to really come at the end and come strong, win the game.
So Joey Milto stepping in for the Saints after Trotter Enright had that RBI single that put the Saints up by a run here in kind of the late going of this game. The pace has certainly been pretty good today relative to yesterday. Off-speed pitch on the outside for a ball.
Yeah, yesterday's game, we were only around the 5th inning around this time.
Yeah, certainly pace picking up here, and certainly the intensity of the offense. Pitch on the inside, ball 2, 2-1 the count. I guess, Liam, what's been like your favorite part so far of the summer season, or is there anything in particular that you're especially excited to maybe try out from a pitch perspective or certainly from a skills perspective?
Man, I think just like the hitting competition is way stronger out here. You see have a lot of major D1 guys, Power 5 schools, and it's just to really see how my stuff plays against dudes from that level.
Enright with the stolen base gets to second. So now runners on second and third here with 2 outs.
You know, and we've talked a lot about that suspended game yesterday. How does the pace of play affect you as a pitcher? You know, no pitch clock out here.
Man, I honestly hate it. I love to work fast, get in and out, and you know when the hitter's taking forever to get in there, it's tough.
That ball falls into left field. Milto with a single. 1 run scores, and Enright scores, so 2 here. And just like that, this game's a bit blown open, 7-4 ball game. Milto driving in 2 on that hit to left field. And you got to love the middle of the lineup kind of getting stuff done for you guys.
Yeah.
What's it been like working with Coach Milam and certainly the coaching staff? What type of influence have they had on you so far?
Great. I mean, Milam and he coached at St. Francis High School where I went to school, and, you know, the connection, all that, and it's just, like, super laid back, and I think it's almost more enjoyable when it's not like you run like the military and you can kind of just be you and work on stuff, and it's super freeing, and it makes it a lot easier to do anything for sure.
Absolutely. What would you say like his vibe is as a coach? Is he more of like, to your point, is he kind of a laid-back coach, or like what's the feeling?
He's very laid back, but he's intense when he needs to, and he's got a lot of knowledge about the sport, so I'm willing to listen, and, you know, all the coaches, like, I'm all ears for them, and I'm prepared to get better and listen to what they have to say for sure.
Absolutely, and Milam has been coaching the Arroyo Seco Saints for a long time now, almost throughout the existence of this team. As they play here at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field here in Pasadena. Now, have you played on this field before?
Way back. I played travel ball here when I was like 12 maybe. But, you know, it's always been around. You always come to the Rose Bowl. Yeah. It's a big thing for our area. The flea market, the UCLA games, all of it.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love going to a UCLA game. I do broadcast for UCLA baseball, so I'm headed to Omaha in a couple of days.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's going to be very fun, but I guess, like, what's one of your favorite parts about the college baseball environment? Is there anything, you know, just whether it's fans or family, being able to watch you, being local, what's been your favorite part of the college experience?
Honestly, it's like, you know, you're here and everybody wants to be here. You know, everybody's out here trying to play ball. It's not like their dad's making them play. And it's just like, because of that, it almost seems like it's so much easier to unify as a group and compete. And it's like the competitiveness is great. It's like a whole nother level of competition. It's just, I love it.
Absolutely. And to your point earlier as well about the competition, as there's a swing and a miss. But to your point about the competition, I mean, you're seeing guys from like completely different programs, right?
Yeah.
D1 players, like in yesterday's game, there were a couple players from A&M and Austin from the Santa Barbara Foresters, let alone our own team here with the Arroyo Seco Saints. How does that, like, maybe that comparison or that competition vibe, certainly in you as a pitcher, you want to get those guys out?
Yeah.
What's like been the feeling for you?
Man, like, I know, like, I've always been a super competitive guy, and, you know, I was kind of bottom of the food chain when I started out, and it just makes you want it more almost. And it's like, I see how you stack up to those guys, like, oh, maybe I can do this at the next level, and, like, see where you really compete at.
Absolutely. 2-2 count, 2 outs here. Runner on first. Runner's off and throw. It's ball in the dirt and the throw, and he's going to be safe at second base. Joey Milto with the stolen bag.
And Liam, would you say, being around the D1 guys, whether they're on your team or the opponent, does that just motivate you to keep getting better and better?
100%. And all the good stories they have just makes it, it's like a fever dream. Like, I'm so excited to see where I can compete at and experience that for myself.
Fly ball from Liam Medella at the plate. This one to shallow right field, and it's going to be Fishbow that makes the catch, and that will end the inning. Well, Liam, it was really nice meeting you.
It's a pleasure to be up here with y'all.
Yeah, and appreciate you coming on.
Of course.
And good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks
We'll be
so
right
much.
back after this.
Great.
Back here in Pasadena, the sun is officially set, and the lights are on, certainly, as the Saints have taken a lead. A 3 spot in the last half of the inning puts them up 7-4. As we enter the top of the 8th inning, Mason McDonald continuing in this game, and he's going to face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters of this lineup, and certainly you would love to continue having a pretty good outing on the mound. He's going to see James Theodore to lead off this inning. Theodore had a single back in the first. Fastball, and that's going to be a ball from Mason McDonald, who has come out and has had pretty good velocity so far, up to 93 miles per hour.
If you're just joining us, Trotter Enright singled and brought in the go-ahead.
This ball, a ground ball to the right side. Good stop by the first baseman, Medella. So a 3-1 put out. McDonald covering the bag.
And then Joey Milto singled, scored the next 2 runs for the Saints' 7-4 lead.
Certainly seeing good production from the middle and the top of the lineup for the Saints. Meanwhile, Mason McDonald has been efficient, to say the least. Already collecting an out, had a 1-2-3 inning last half of the inning, facing the 4-5-6 of the lineup, and here faces Tyler Parks. Steps in on the right side. McDonald throws his fastball to the right side, and a fly out to Milto in right field for out number 2.
Great to see 2 quick outs from McDonald after the Saints take that 3-run lead.
Actually, to clarify there, it actually was not Tyler Parks who came in to hit. It was actually Zitko. So now we're going to see the 9-hitter for the Power come up, and it's going to be Dante Leach, who came in for Christian Santiago at shortstop earlier in the game. Left-handed hitter, takes a ball, 1-0 the count. And a pop-up in foul territory down the third base line. It's going to be Enright, and he makes the catch right in front of the railing. or perhaps the warning track, and that'll end the inning. So a quick 1, 2, 3, 6 up, 6 down for Mason McDonald. And here we go, a 3-run lead heading into the bottom of the 8th for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Back here in the bottom of the 8th at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field, and we've got a new pitcher for the San Diego Bombers. It's going to be Will Merengue. He's a freshman at Davidson College, went to Santa Fe Christian High School, so he's a local guy. Just completed his freshman year at Davidson College, but overall had 11 innings pitched and an ERA of around 8. So he comes in here in the bottom of the 8th inning to face off against the middle to the bottom of the lineup for the Arroyo Seco Saints. That's Freer, Hayworth, and Maynard up to bat here in this inning.
This is going to be Merengue's first appearance of the CCL Summer 2025 season.
And here against Jacob Freer, left-handed batter who's had a pretty good game so far. First pitch swinging, ground ball to the right side. Williams has it, underhands it to first, and a first pitch out. And that's a good way to start his outing on the mound if you're Will Merengue. So one pitch out to start the bottom of the 8th inning for the Saints. And that brings up Matthew Maynard, who came up in the 7th inning. And he actually walked and scored. Merengue set up high at the face and the pitch. Fastball on the inside part of the plate, strike 1.
Besides the walk, Maynard's also recorded a hit today with 2 runs scored for the Saints.
Maynard, a local out of Allen, Texas, went to Lovejoy High School. Just completed his freshman year. Swinging a broken bat, and this ball's going to drop into right center field. And maybe the first broken bat I've seen, certainly, of this summer season. That ball ended up getting to right field, so good power in that bat, but no more swings available for that one, as that one becomes an artifact of the CCL as they collect the shards. Now, we've seen a couple of players getting hit by balls in yesterday's game. Fortunately, no one hit by wood. Excuse me, actually, that was Lane Hayworth who just swung with that broken bat signal. That brings up Matthew Maynard here, right-handed bat in the 7 hole. And to clarify, Maynard is the one from Allen, Texas, as there's a quick pickoff move to keep Lane Hayworth, rather, who went to Wichita State, just completed his junior year, but he's also from Texas, went to Hebron High School in Louisville. A couple of Texas boys here in summer baseball in Los Angeles. And the pitch. Fastball, ground ball, and a bad hop, and that gets into left field past the glove of Bonham. Meanwhile, that runner, Hayworth, stays at second base. So runners at first and second, one out. Saints are in business. So now runners at first and second off of the couple of singles we've seen from Lane Hayworth and Matthew Maynard. And now the 8-hitter, Kian Moseni, comes up to hit. And a little bit of a scare earlier in the game where he collided with Eli Lopez up the middle of the diamond, but still in the game. First pitch, fastball on the inside, ball 1.
Moseni's looking for his first hit of the day, 0 for 3 so far.
Moseni, left-handed bat from Canada. And the pitch, off-speed pitch, fouled off the catcher. And that'll make it a 1-1 count. Moseni, 6 foot, 190 pounds. As you remember, he goes to the University of Central Arkansas in the ASUN Conference. And the pitch, swing and fouled back. 86 miles per hour on the gun, so a little off. Taken off that last pitch. So a 1-2 count. If Moseni's able to get on, it would be Jack Little, who is in the on-deck circle. Little, the 9-hitter. Meanwhile, Moseni, the 8-hitter in the lineup. Runner on first and second. 1 out. Pitch. And he got him. Slider on the outside part of the plate. And he was able to get the call. So Will Meringue able to get the K, out number 2 in the inning. So that'll bring up Jack Little. After that K looking, a backwards K there. 2 outs in the inning. Still a runner in scoring position that the Saints would love to get in. Granted, it is a 7-4 ball game, so within striking distance for the Bombers.
Jack Little came into this game in replacement of Noah Williams, who left after stealing third and kind of going into the bag awkwardly, wishing the best for him.
Quick little dribbler foul to the left side off the end of the bat. 0-1 the count. Now Little, I was trying to tell this story earlier, but Jack Little, a pretty common name in baseball. In fact, he's not the only big league player, though, with that name. In fact, there was a Jack Little who was a player for the New York Highlanders back in 1912. That was the team that preceded the New York Yankees. Now that Jack Little only had 12 at-bats in the big leagues and played in 3 career games. But coincidentally, that Jack Little, along with the Jack Little in today's game, both went to Baylor University. So a little bit of parallelism happening here on the baseball diamond. And historical precedence in that name, Jack Little. And the pitch, runners are on the move. Throws to second base to the back runner, and he got him. Perfect throw by Tyler Parks behind the dish. And just like that, the threat for the Saints is eliminated. So the game stays at 7-4 as we enter the 9th inning. Saints up by 3.
That was one. I was like, okay, yeah.
Every day I spend my time drinking wine, feeling fine, waiting here to find the sign that I can understand. So every day I spend my time drinking wine,
field, and what a piece of hitting from Ryan Studd. Well done by Lopez in time. And the Arroyo Cinco Saints take this one.
Ninth inning baseball here in Pasadena, top of the ninth, and a new pitcher in to close this game, and it will be Nolan McCracken. He's formerly at UC San Diego this past season, recently transferred to Arizona State, but he's a local guy. I mean, San Diego obviously just down the road from Los Angeles, but he's originally a native of Windsor, Colorado, 6'3", 200 pounds. And of course, UC San Diego, a Division I program now. Threw only 12 innings there this past year, but he had 14 walks in that span. So certainly control is going to be something of a paramount here, but he is eligible here to get the save if he can get 3 outs.
McCracken's pitched 2 innings in the CCL this summer, just allowed 1 hit, no runs yet. Did strike out 4 batters this season so far.
And he'd love to get a couple more here if he can. His career high in strikeouts at San Diego was back in 2023, where he struck out the side against Cal State Fullerton. But now coming in to try and get the save here, 3 outs facing the top of the lineup for the Bombers, Thomas Williams, Lucas Bonham, and Dylan Fishbaugh. McCracken, an economics major at San Diego, was actually Spring Big West All-Academic back in 2023. After a quick little conversation with his catcher, Matthew Maynard, we're going to start the 9th inning here at 8:45 p.m. Fully dark here. Temperatures still right around upper 60s. And here we go. 7-4 ball game. Saints up by 3. And the pitch, fastball, right at 90 miles per hour for a ball. 1-0. Williams, this will be his 5th at-bat in the game. Had a double back in the 6th. And the pitch. And a foul ball off the end of the bat. So a 1-1 count. Now his first couple of at-bats, he flew out to center, then grounded out to second, and then flew out to left field. McCracken looks in, gets the pitch, and he's set. The pitch. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Actually might have been a slider there, or a cutter rather. 87 miles per hour for a strike. 1-2 the count. He's set at the belt. The pitch. Fastball. Just missed the zone. Did not get the call from what's been a pretty tight strike zone the entire evening, rather. So back at even. 2-2 the count. Outfield playing standard. Infield as well. Ball has not been carrying too much here at the stadium as the pitch, and he got him. And a little bit of lateral movement, 87 miles per hour on that cutter, and he was able to get him swinging for the first out.
McCracken picks up his 5th strikeout of the CCL 2025 summer season with that K.
And that's a big strikeout here, especially in a game where there have been 11 runs combined. 7-4 ball game, 1 out here in the 9th. And the 2-hitter Lucas Bonham up to hit. Open stance at the plate. The pitch. Slider up at the top of the zone. 1-0 the count.
Bonham's 2 for 4 on the day with a run scored for the Bombers.
Bonham set. And the pitch. Looked like a slider there. 82 miles per hour. 2-0 the count. Now Bonham had a quick start to this game. Had a triple back in the first. and then in the second had a single. 2-0 the count, 1 out. The pitch. And a fastball on the outside part of the plate, not called a strike, 3-0. So after starting this inning with that strikeout to Thomas Williams, immediately kind of back into a 3-ball count, has to get back into the zone. You obviously don't want to allow a runner to get on here in the 9th. Pitch in, a fastball, strike at the knees, 91 miles per hour. So a 3-1 count. Sitting generally with that fastball around 90 to 91. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Cutter at 88. Able to get it past him. Started it on the outside part of the plate and ended up well off the zone in the other batter's box, in fact. So now Bonham finds himself back in a full count. 3-2, 1 out here in the 9th. McCracken sets. Pitch. And this one's hit pretty well to left field, but definitely in the ballpark. And Hayworth makes the catch. 2 outs here in the 9th. 7-4 ball game and 1 out away from a Saints victory.
Number 5, Dylan Fishbaugh.
It's going to be up to Dylan Fishbaugh of the Bombers to keep this game going. He's 1 for 4 on the day with a run scored and 1 RBI.
I'd love to get on base here. First pitch fastball down at the knees, 1-0. On his last at-bat, well, just in general, in fact, Fishbaugh would love to get on base. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Just got it past him at 92 miles per hour. Threw some cheddar, and he just tried to bite, and he couldn't. So a little extra pesto on that pitch. 1-1 the count. McCracken, the pitch. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Up to 93 there. 2-1 the count. Wanted to put a little extra pesto on that one, perhaps even mustard. But this time, no condiments could get him into the zone. He's set and the pitch. And he gets him with that off-speed pitch slider. 2-2 the count, 1 pitch away. Now, of course, McCracken would be in line for the save. 2s all around. Outfield playing standard, slightly to right field. Infield playing standard as well. McCracken, the pitch. Just off the outside part of the plate, a cutter in at 88 miles per hour. And this is the way you want it. 3-2 the count. 2 outs here in the 9th. Nobody on. McCracken. Ball hit to right field, and that's going to stay up for Joey Milto to make the catch, and that'll do it here at Jackie Robinson Field in Pasadena. Final score of this ball game is 7-4. The Arroyo Seco Saints victorious over the San Diego Bombers, and overall a pretty good game for the Saints.
Really good game for the Saints.
And overall, just a good hitting performance. Certainly in that first inning, you saw a lot of production from both of these offenses. 3 runs by the Bombers to start off the game. Saints answered back with 3, so, negated that early lead. And, of course, the Saints able to get another run in the second to keep that 4-3 lead. And then eventually, of course, they got the bats going. They ended up having 8 hits, 7 runs on 8 hits, and 1 error. Meanwhile, the San Diego Bombers, 4 runs on 9 hits, actually. So more overall production, but they weren't able to get it done against a pretty good Arroyo Seco Saints pitching staff here tonight.
A big shout out to Jacob Freer with that Little League home run that got the Saints scoring started. The pitching staff also did a very solid job today holding the Bombers to just those 4 runs and getting another comeback win.
Yeah, took nearly 5 pitchers to get it done today, but you mentioned Jacob Freer with that Little League home run back in the first, officially ruled as a double, but he ended up being able to score on a throwing error by Tyler Parks, the catcher. And so with that, the Arroyo Seco Saints are victorious and continue the hitting. So with that being said, 7-4, the final score here in Pasadena. Sid Iyer here alongside Sydney Ferris, and a big thank you to all of our Arroyo Seco Saints staff here at the ballpark here in Pasadena. Next game will be on Friday, and we're looking forward to seeing you here at the stadium. It's going to be a fun one. Until then, talk soon.